Hello, my name is Josh Kalmus. This is my YouTube video for food service management. My topic was motivation in the workplace, and I found an article from nationsrestaurantnews.com called Personal Execs Motivation Key to Quality Work. This article basically talks about three things. The first article talks about the key to motivating employees starts with the human resource department in a company. It's their job to find quality workers that are qualified for the job, for the position at hand, and to also find employees that are driven and self-motivating. But then it's also about how it's the management's job to put them in an environment to keep them motivated, to put in practice certain techniques that will keep these employees motivated. Then the second thing this article talks about is about Flaky Jake's. It's a hamburger chain in California, how they didn't have any money, and the techniques it used to motivate its employees without money. And then finally, the third point in the article is about how McDonald's, a company that has all the money in the world, and what they do to motivate their employees. So yeah, to start off with, it talks about how the human resource department is absolutely vital to finding the correct people for the job in the restaurant industry. Like, you want to hire somebody that's absolutely qualified for the position. You do that, you also find people that are driven and self-motivating. It talks about how it's human resources finds these people, they puts them in an environment and where management then is allowed to use just different techniques to motivate people, motivate their employees. The first example that they show is Flaky Jake's, like I said earlier. It's a hamburger joint in California. They fired for Chapter 11. They fired for Chapter 11 a few years ago, and so they didn't have the financial resources to motivate their employees, but they came up with different and creative ways to, keep their employees motivated and productive and happy. The first thing that they did, they started trying to build like a corporate culture by starting up a weekly newsletter that incorporated like personal dates such as like employees' birthdays and anniversaries. They also started to establish an Employee of the Month award, and they also had a plaque that would go up in the restaurant for the public to see, so they would know who you were. Then they had also offered days off with pay for the employees who were singled out for good service by customers, which turned out to be a big motivator. And then finally, they would also offer an annual employee recognition banquet. So that was great. And then they also allowed them to wear uniforms that they wanted to work in, and then also too, finally they offered the employees a share of revenues generated by any customers that the employees introduced to the restaurant. So that means like if on a Monday night somebody was in a football league and they all came in afterwards and had a bunch of hamburgers and beer, then that employee would get 10% of whatever money was generated from that bill. So it's a pretty good idea, and it made them feel a part of the company. So I found that very interesting, how companies with no money motivated its employees. Now, finally, McDonald's, who has all the money in the world, uses their financial resources as a major recruiting tool, and also a major motivational tool to get for its employees. First off, that McDonald's does is that they give people more money per hour working there. They have the money, they can do it. And then second of all, they offer great benefits for these employees, They offer them They can also offer them salary positions or packages, and most or all hourly help gets medical coverage, gets medical insurance, um, which is absolutely important for making people happy. And but they also stress that they focus a great deal on making sure that all their employees are treated right, making sure that they feel good. They're going to be more productive. And then McDonald's also recruits a lot of teenage kids and also minorities. And one thing that they do, they offer this thing called Parents Night, where the parents of all these high school kids come into the restaurant, and these teenagers will cook for their parents. And then while they're cooking, the parents get to talk to the management and just kind of like see how the restaurant's run and everything. And it's supposed to be like this. Everybody loves it, and it's very motivating, I guess, for not only for the family, but for all like the employees. And then they also, what they do to keep workers interested and motivated is that they train their employees constantly, and then they also move them from station to station, so they're learning. They're not getting bored with what they're doing. They're always learning new things, and that helps people be more productive by keeping them interested. And they also give out, when they do that, they give these employees different titles, and that makes people very motivated and makes them feel like they're part of the team. So with all that said, the article that I found was called Personal Execs: Motivation Key to Quality Work. It was from nationsrestaurantnews.com, and talks about three things: how human resources is the key to finding the proper people that will be, that you can motivate for a company. And then it gives two examples: one of Flaky Jake's hamburger joint in California, which didn't have any money but still found ways to keep their employees motivated. And then secondly, McDonald's, how they had all the money in the world and how they used that money to provide health insurance and great wages to their employees that keeps them happy and motivated. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.